Good evening! Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening! Welcome back to the Obra Dinn. Probably gonna make this the last one. I know I said I was gonna make the last one, but I don't know, I still want to dig deeper. I think there's more to find. There's actually quite a lot more to find, let's be honest. And people keep tweeting about it on my Twitter timeline. People keep being like, "Oh, I just finished Obra Dinn. It was so great. All this happened." And I'm like, "No, don't tell me anything. I just need to like solve all this myself. I don't want to know. All I know is that it's great." So, we are where we were, on the deck of a ship with a lot of corpses. It smells gross, and we're here. So, we were trying to find out a bit about this mutiny, I think. What else we got? So, unknown officer. We never figured out the officers. I never managed to get the two officers nailed down. That seems like something I should be able to do. There are only two of them, right? There are only two, and I don't know which one's which, so if I can figure them out, let's have a look, So, Martin Parrott, third mate, and John Davies, four mates. How can I find them? Let's have a look on here. So, they were somewhere down here. Unknown officer. Was in several memories. He doesn't die. Ah, he must get out somewhere. Okay. And the other officer is this guy. Unknown officer, clubbed by an unknown attacker. Perished in Escape Part 5. Which was... What's all this, you damn fool? Where are we going to make this happen? So on the gun deck by the stairs at the back. Okay. Let's have a look at that. This is right where we are. So he was... Was he behind the stairs or was this him? Is this him? This is not where he perished. This is not the scene I was looking for.
Give him tea and I can fry us a solid meal, boys.
Also, that was the only one where the ship's cook. Yeah, we totally got the ship's cook. That's fine. Right. Back to picture. Ossifer. Memories. Escape Part 5. Oh, I'm here. Oh, it's the other end of the ship. Oh, it's by those stairs. Right. Oh, I'm at the front of the ship. Right, yes, that makes sense. So it must be this guy. Escape Part 5. Yeah, that'd be the one we're looking for.
What's all this shit, Dad?
Oh, hang on. Wait. Well, we know who this guy is now. He's what's-his-face. Yeah, I totally know him. He's Brennan. Well, we can figure that out. Okay, Brennan. Cool. Henry Brennan. And he was... Now can we... I mean, if I've got enough to work on, I could... Evangelion! Hi! So there's only two options, so I can pop them in and, you know, he might... Nope. Yes! It was him! Yes! Guesswork! Yes! Well done. 3 more fates correct. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping it would just tick these off. This... Little bit cheesy, but cool. Olus Vita, got that. And yeah, we knew about Brennan. Cool. Okay, so they're confirmed. That takes us halfway. I got achieved there for getting half the folks. We have figured out half the things on the ship. So, this gives us something to work with. We now have a process of elimination that helps us out. We have life at sea. Officer, who is this? By process of elimination, that literally has to be Martin Parrott. He must escape somewhere. Third mate, Martin Parrott. Can we just bookmark his memories? Go to them. So he appears when the dude dies. When the dude dies, they all died. When the dude died of the cold. Take him to the carpenters. Oh, that's during the pukey scene. He was hanging around there. He was in the Nunzio Pasquale got murdered scene. He was in there? Where was he in that? Oh, I kind of want to see that scene again. Was it so... How is the officer in... How is third mate in? Because, I mean, we know Nichols is there. Where is it? Where is... Oh, so Pasquale's up on top. Let me out of this scene. I'm down here. Oh, really? You've not seen any of the previous bits of this? Okay. Recap. Firstly, it's a 1-bit art style, so it looks weird as hell. Also, I'm kind of an end game-ish here. So... I guess you're just getting it's still kind of the flesh of the game, but yeah. Basically, you are an insurance investigation-y person. Your specific title, I'm not entirely certain, but you work for an insurance company in the 18th century, and this ship, the Obra Dinn, has turned up in harbour with all 60 of its crew dead in various ways, and the sails, rigging, all just shredded to bits. And no particular clue from anyone how this has happened. It is my job to find out how this happened. I have a book. I have a big-ass book. A book that details everything and everyone that happened on this ship. You start off with one corpse. You basically... I mean, I will tell you what, let's close the book and I will play you back, like, the start of the game. You come on the ship, the first thing you find, the only thing you find on the ship... You get given this magic, spooky, corpse-investigating pocket watch as well quite early on. That's a weird artifact. They just like, here, have an artifact. So then you find a corpse, and you can use the magic, spooky death pocket watch, the Memento Mori, on a corpse. And it will tell you, basically, it gives you a tiny snapshot of how that person died. It gives you sort of like 20 or 30 seconds up to that person's death, and then you get a kind of a diorama of that scene that you can walk around in, you can look at things, you can investigate things, and we get this. Let's do this. You can go back and watch it with the dialogue over the scene, but the first time you get it, you'll get it like this.
Captain! Open the door! Kick it in. Ah! Lest we break it down and take more than those shells!
You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
So then we get a scene, we've got a dialogue, and we've got two guys who are clearly hammering on the door, and we got, he was referred to as the captain, so this must be our captain. He's kicked the door open and shot the dude in the face. So, this is obviously, this is your first scene of the game. It's, you don't quite know the context for any of this, but first things off the bat, we know that whoever this is got shot by the captain, and we know that this is the captain. So we have our notebook, and we can like tag people. If all these mechanics are kind of not explained really super quickly, they kind of get drip fed to you, but you can use them straight off the bat if you know how to do them. If you press E, you can highlight them, and it'll give you like this. In my book, I have a couple of pictures that the artist has drawn, and everybody on the ship is in one of these 3 pictures, basically. And yeah, you can like click on them, investigate them, and add information about them, and they'll be penciled in. You'll pencil in information about them. You can edit them. Once you have 3 people that you have all of the information correct about them, who they are, how they died, and like if they were killed by someone or something, like who killed them. Basically, who they were. Yeah, those are the 3 things you're looking for: who they are, how they died, and who killed them. If you have all 3 of those correct, once you have 3 characters that you've got all 3 correct on, the game goes, good work, good job, and types them into the book. They're properly, like, permanently in the book. These are good, these are correct. So until you've got 3 correct, there's still a bit of guesswork. You can't just keep guessing and guessing and guessing, because you would have to guess 3 correctly. If you're, like with the last one I actually got, I had 2 that I knew I was pretty correct on. I was pretty certain I had all the details, so I could kind of guess the officers. So there's a little bit of guesswork involved there. And then each scene, like once you've explored it, once you've had a wander around, seen what's going down, you can wander out the magical, mysterious doors and back onto the kind of the overworld. So what do we know? Let's recap right back to that. Loose cargo is early on. There was a mishap. We had a stowaway. He was Samuel Peters. He had a brother on board the ship. There was a mishap early on. Cargo got dropped. He got crushed. His brother was kind of unhappy about that. Blamed some other folks on it. That'll come into play later. A little bit later into our journey, somewhere off the coast of Portugal, somewhere heading towards Madeira. Couple of our guys got ill. It was cold, it was damp, life on ship, disease, wiped people out. Useful scene in and of itself, because you can kind of identify a lot of people based on their crew numbers, I found. Which is quite nice, because you've got the crew directory and everybody sleeps in a bunk and all their bunks have got a number on it, so you know their crew number, so you can find people. Then a cow got slaughtered, some guys chundered. Nothing terribly interesting happened here, but good for identifying people. Murder! A murder most foul happened. Things start getting interesting. One of our passengers, I think Italian chap by the name of Nunzio, he got murdered. They framed it on Hokseng Lan, who was he was killed by a firing squad, but this is a really interesting scene because when you freeze frame it, you can follow the path of the bullets, and 3 of the people in the firing squad straight up actually missed him. So you can actually follow the one bullet that did hit him and find the crewman it came from. So you can find out specifically who in the firing squad was responsible for his death. Turned out it was Henry Brennan, who is a man who will come up a number of times in this. Oh, well, there's VODs if you fancy, like, going through and unraveling the mystery bit by bit. There are VODs, but I'll give you a recap of things. Some dude got shot. I forget what that's in context of. What was this? Oh yeah, one of the officers kind of led a sort of a mutiny-ish thing, set off on his own little voyage, took some guys, took some of our Formosan royalties, got a boat, killed some dudes, took some captives, went off. They went on the calling. They had an ancient magical artifact which summoned a bunch of weird mer people, porcupine hybrid things. Weird spiky mer people who carry spears and murdered a bunch of them out at sea. They came home and was like, hello everyone, we've got treasure, in spite of the fact that it was just treasure they'd already taken from the ship, and got murdered themselves. They came back, yeah, here we go. This guy was like, hey, we're back, I have treasure, and then he just straight up gets shot. The guys are just like, ha, no, we know your game, and shoot him. Some people disappeared. They just got killed by beasts. So then, now that we brought the cursed artifacts and the cursed things onto the ship, a bunch of mer people come riding out of the sea on the back of weird porcupine-y kind of beasts. They're porcupines, I think we call them. They're kind of like half crab, half porcupine, all horrible, all cosmic horror. So they came in, murdered a bunch of people, murdered quite a lot of people, like most of this chapter was just murdering people. Unholy Captives is where things start to kick off. Soldiers of the Sea is where things get murdered. Someone got struck by lightning. Murdered by beasts. Murdered by beasts. Murdered by beasts. Oh, both two strangled by beasts, in fact. The crabs strangled them. This was a fun one. He was like, how can I deal with these beasts? Let me throw this lantern at him and set him on fire. At which point the beast just grabs hold of the guy and they both burn to death. So that was fun. He was spiked by the beast. He got spiked by a beast, crawled off, and then got shot through a wall by somebody that I'm not sure of yet. But he did get shot. He's actually not... His actual cause of death was not strictly the beasts, but the beast precipitated his death. Killed by beasts. At some point, this scene, we're not sure... I'm not sure, like, how this scene begins. We never really get to see how this bit, like, actually kicks off. There's... I guess they probably want out after the whole invasion thing, but some of the guys take one of the boats and do one. He's like, you killed my brother! The Danish guy, Lars, he was there when the guy got crushed, and the guy's brother blamed him for it. Whether he did it or not is up for debate, but either way, he gets his revenge, clubs Lars, murders Lars, boat takes off, they get away. Shortly after that, the first sign we get of any further doom is when a giant squid comes and crushes our artist, so there will be no more depictions of life at sea after this. He's dead, though. And then the squid makes short work of a few more people, and they start trying to take it out, and the squid grabs a cannon and fires it at the guys, and it's a bit of a mess. And then one of the cannons gets loose and crushes the guy. It's a loose cannon. Do I know him? He's a steward. I should be able to identify him soon, actually. Someone... I can't remember quite how that worked, but he got exploded. Explosions happened. He got torn apart by the beast. The captain's wife got crushed by the rigging falling in this particular scene. And a bunch of people just vanished. I've got them like tagged as in the Canary Islands and the Azores. I don't know specifically where they are. If I can figure out where they actually get off, that might help me a lot more, but hard to do. Chapter 8, presumably the captain makes some sort of bargain, as evidenced by the chapter title, as to how to resolve the problem of the giant squid and the invasion. I presume he must bargain with the mer people or something, but basically, the moment you say, I'm done with these mysteries, I'd like to go back to shore, they will fill in this chapter for you. Until you say, I'm done with the game, you do not get to know what happens in Chapter 8. This is made very clear right at the start of the game. We don't know what happens there. Chapter 9 is essentially making their escape. He dies after having been torn apart by a beast. He's got his arm missing. Some of the guys... Yeah, some of the guys make a break for it. Some of the guys start a mutiny. More murdering happens. Unknown soul knifed by Olus, the gunner's mate. Oh yeah, dude crawled away with a knife in his back. I'm not sure exactly who did it. Some of the passengers got away. And then at the end, we literally start, that first scene you saw was this chapter, the very final chapter. The game begins with the end of the game, where the first mate and Harry Brennan, is it Harry Brennan? Whatever, Brennan, something Brennan. Have we got him? It is Henry Brennan. Henry Brennan. Yeah, Harry's short for Henry, I think, right? Or is it short for Harold? I don't know. It's one of those weird ones. I'm sure Harry's short for something weird. Or, I don't know. Beats me. Either way, he was there. They did a mutiny. Captain did not let them mutiny. He murdered everybody. At that point, Captain was literally the only person left alive on the ship. So he took his own life. And that's where the story ends. The cursed artifact was something that was just in storage from the... all the way back to here. These guys, the Formosan royalty. There are 4 people on the ship who are Formosans. I don't know where Formosa is in the world, but there's some sort of vaguely tribally looking group. There are 4 of them here. We've got them mostly pinned down. I know two of them got away. One of them was eaten, and one of them burned to death at sea. Yeah, he was burned. He got burned by the artifact, actually. They had some mysterious weird altar that was in storage on the ship, and I believe it belonged to them. Not super clear on this, really. It has some sort of magical shell in it, because when people keep referring to shells, they keep talking about this magical shell. Yeah, basically, someone tried to make off with it. Which one was it? It wasn't... It was Nichols, wasn't it? It wasn't Hoscut, it was Nichols. Nichols tried to make off with the artifacts. He got the Formosans and some crew and loaded the artifact into a rowboat and just did one. That was chapter 4. And yeah, that didn't go well. The Formosans, whilst they were at sea, were talking about don't let the shell touch the water, or don't let the artifact touch the water, whatever it was. Basically, if this thing got wet, I guess the mer people would know about it. And sure enough, obviously, the worst happens. The artifact gets wet. The mer people turn up, and everybody gets murdered. So yeah. Some sort of weird Formosan mer person... something that the Formosans probably stole from the mer people centuries ago. I don't know. I don't know the specific context behind it. That has not been explained. But there you go. It's evil. Don't play with shells. They will murder you. To this end, this lets me go to chapter 3. The murder. I want to replay... In fact, I can do it. I can do it from here. Yeah, this guy. This is the scene I want to see.
Hok Seng Lao, you have been found guilty by self-confession of the murder of Nunzio Pasquale.
Quiet.
As captain of this ship, and by the authority of the East India Company, and thus the Crown of England, I sentence you to death by firing line. Mr. Wolf, when you are ready.
Right, sir. Ready, men. Aim. Fire!
And that's that. So this is the one where I say you can see the bullets. Like 3 of the people straight up missed. If this was like an actual action live scene, you saw this happening, there's no way you'd be able to tell what happened there. The only reason this scene is actually decipherable at all is because it is this diorama format, which I really like that as a design. It's like, oh, we can walk around, we can just see the path of the bullets and see literally who was responsible for killing this man. Our man Brennan here. Oh yeah. Anyway, what I'm here for is officers, because we know pretty much all of them except this guy. Well, we now know he's Martin Perrott, in fact. I don't know why he goes away. So he must have a... Yeah, this is what I was looking for. He must have a unknown steward. He is, in fact... So Martin Perrott is 3rd mate, so he must be the 3rd mate steward. And he is our 2nd mate Nichols. Have we got this guy pegged? Samuel Galligan. Yeah, he's alright. There's another one here. He's got a... So he is... Not you. Got John Davies, the 4th mate. And an unknown steward. So he must now be the 4th mate steward. Where is that? Boom. I don't know where he disappeared to, though, in all this. There is also, in all of this, a ship's steward, and I don't know who that is and where that is. Who are you? Oh, that's Hoscut. Right. Where's Hoscut's steward? He's Gunner's mate. We know about him. That's Lars, right? Bosun. That's a chicken. popular going theory at the minute is, as I understand it, that the chicken did it. The chicken was responsible for all of this. Is this all I can get from this scene? Who are the topmen we've got hanging around up here? Oh, he's the guy who got struck by lightning. Cool, 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 cool. He got stabbed by a beast. We have no idea who they are. Who we got loitering at the back here? Bosun's mate Charles Minor speared by a beast. Is that right? It probably isn't right, actually. If that were considered to be right, he would have been filled in by now. Let's have a look at him then. Charles Minor, Bosun's mate. Oh, he was not speared. Well, let me see when he died. Soldiers of the Sea, Part 8. His corpse can be found front of the ship in the cargo hold. Okay, let's go have a nosy at that. I don't know how I've come to the conclusion that that corpse is his. I think it's just putting two and two together, actually. He was... Wait, no, it shouldn't have been here. It should have been... That was the guy who got crushed. Where was... Dang it, I wanted... Should have been somewhere in Soldiers of the Sea. Oh, he's like straight up in the next room. Right. Oh, that was him. Okay. The guy that got struck by lightning is literally, that's it. There is a scene where you see a guy get struck by lightning, and I like went into the book and was like, yep, this guy died because of lightning. That's all I know about that guy. I really have no context beyond that, other than the way it was a storm, he was up in the rigging, he got struck by lightning. And I tagged him as, was struck by lightning. When I look at him in another scene, I might not personally recognize the character, but my player character here will recognize that this is the same person, and if I look at them, it will flick it onto the book and say, oh yeah, this is the person that you tagged in another scene as was struck by lightning. So that I'm like, oh, I can tie these two scenes together. Now I know that this is the lightning dude. I don't know who he is. I still don't know that, but it's the guy who got struck by lightning. There is only one person whose death I have tagged in this game as electrocuted. It is the lightning guy. So... arse. I don't know why that's him. Why is that him? Have I just put it there because he stood next to the bosun? Have I just assumed that? From context? There's the little pips above each portrait. It gives you a scale of basically 1 to 3 of how difficult it is to identify who this person is. If it's a 1, they've probably been referred to by name at some point. Someone has probably literally said their name. If it's a 2... you should be able to figure it out from context. 3 probably means you've actually got very little to go on. Did anyone say anything in that? Or is that all? That's all I got. Ah, arse. The crab thingy looks like a real crab. Are they the size of several men, and do they invade ships while being ridden by mermen carrying spears? I think I've got the. Thing is, I can't guess it unless I had two others. If I had two others that were definitely right, I could have a guess. I could like literally go through the entire ship and just guess who he was, and it would eventually just be like, yep, that's right. Because I know how he died, I just don't know who he is. I can't say he's the bosun's mate. I don't think he is. I think that would be done if he was the bosun's mate. I think he's an unknown seaman right now. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Although I think he outranks the seaman. The only seamen here are the executioners. Ah, crap. Is he a topman? Could he be an unknown topman? Could be the ship's steward. I don't know. I've not found him yet. Is he Indian? Does he look Indian? The unknown soul. Fine. Remove that. I don't think I got anything more to go on with him. Thing is, if I can find out who the bosun's mate is, if I can find a scene in which the bosun is and also his mate is, I should probably... Yeah, that's a good plan. Let me find scenes that the bosun is in, because then I can find his mate, probably. Because then I know his mate is the Frenchman. He refers to his mate as being the Frenchman at one point. He's, where is my Frenchman, he says. So this man, he appears in 11 scenes. We're going to bookmark those, and we are going to flip through the book and find those scenes. So, he next appears in Murder! Yep, he's here because that's the picture he's in. He next appears in Unholy Captives. I've not been to this scene for a long time. Let's go back to this scene, I think. It is main deck, right on the top. Okay, main deck right on the top. Let's go have a look at that. Oh, there's two dudes here. Which one is it? I think it was the one in the middle, right? Unholy Captives. That sounds right.
What the hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends? Shell? What shell?
Okay, so very quiet. You don't really hear the formations very well, but yeah, this is right after. Yeah, this is right after they come back from the boat. That's the third mate, Martin Parrott. Okay. So second mate comes back after his treachery. They bring the artifact back. And they're like, what the hell is going on here? What on earth happened? What have you brought? You got this thing. They winch this up. And it starts firing spikes at people. Because, you know, that's what happens when you bring strange beasts from the depths. you know, via a curse. It sort of impales a bunch of people. We have... Oh, here's our bosun, right? Yep, that's our man. Where is his mate? I feel like the bosun's mate should be, like, pretty closely associated with him at some point. That's our captain. That's Whittrell. Whittrell damn near gets got. He's Zappy McLightningface. Who are you? Oh, that's Henry Evans, the surgeon. He was strangled by a beast. Don't know who he is. Although I think context is important. What job could he possibly be doing there? I think he's the surgeon's mate, isn't he? He's got the surgeon's bag out, and he's laying out all the corpses, and he's here working with the surgeon on, like, dealing with the dead zoes. He's got to be the surgeon's mate. We've got some good context there. I like that. I wish I knew where his buddy was, though. So we got a bunch of nobodies winching this up. I don't think that's helpful. Unless I don't know any of these. Who are you? Lars. Cool. Well, we know who he is. Abraham. We know his story. Who are you? Nathan Peters. Oh, brother of Crushed Guy. And William Wasim got crushed in, like, one of the next bits. We know most of these guys' story, actually. Who are you? Don't know who he is. He's got to be a seaman. I don't think he's on winching duty. I don't think he's like an important person. I don't think he has a noteworthy role. I mean, he might be a topman, but I think I would have... I think I tagged... There's one scene that's up in the rigging, and I tagged literally everyone up there as topman. Who are you? Seaman John Naples torn apart by F. Dahl. Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's sorted. He's A-okay. I don't think what I wanted was in this scene. What I came for is not here. But we found some information out, and this is important. Right, we were looking for our man. So, okay, so he appears in the next scene. That corpse is... this one, isn't it? Oh, no, that is not this one. This is a giant squid attack. Not that we've been here in a while. Is there any useful context here? Oh! Yeah, there totally is. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello, bosun. Who would you be throwing the gun to? A guy wearing a hat. Gunner's mate. Oh, he's throwing a gun to the gunner's mate. Damn it! So, I mean, he's actually straight up confirmed. We know who he is. Damn it. I really hoped he would be throwing the gun to the bosun's mate. And the thing is, he's right. Both of these characters have got a tick by them. These are, like, set in stone. They're there. These are... their stories are correct. Who's this? Topman Leonid Volkov. I think he's... he can't be right, otherwise he'd have been sorted by now. Dunno. Rando. Marbo we know. His tattoos kind of give him away a bit. That's just someone's steward, right? No, that's the fourth mate. That's John Davies. That's not a corpse. That's just... that's a tentacle. We got... someone reasonably well dressed that was knifed by the gunner's mate. It was knifed by him, in fact. Don't know. Huh. He's well dressed, which makes me want to think he's... I know how he dies, because I know the scene it's referring to when it says he got knifed. So I know who he is and what the context is of how he dies. And I also know that the character I'm looking for, Bosun's mate Charles Minor, we are told the context in which he died was that he was torn apart by the squid. When our bosun says, "Where's my Frenchman?" it's like, oh yeah, the squid tore him apart. So I know how he dies. I'm not actually sure we see the scene, actually, but... it's just you say kraken, I say giant squid. Tomato, tomato. They refer to it specifically as a squid in the story anyway. The bosun himself says, "What happened to the squid?" So the Frenchman I'm looking for, I know gets torn apart by the kraken. And this guy I know gets knifed, which means he cannot be my Frenchman. I think. Which makes me think my Frenchman is not in this scene? Who are you over here? Oh, Whaley the topman. Alright, fair enough. How I know his name, I don't remember the specific context of, but whatever. That goat survives quite a lot. That goat's here through to the end, man. Got back as the goat steering the ship. Next scene. Next scene when Mrs. Wittrell gets crushed. Oh shoot, I know where her corpse is. And they don't just leave her on the deck after she dies. She gets to come in and be a skeleton. It's actually quite good to replay these early scenes. Just because you see them very early on. I don't think I've really properly revisited them in a while. So now that I have a lot more context for a lot of things, it's kind of useful to come back and see them in a fresh light. So we got our passengers hunkering down over here. We got Gunner's mate there again, trying to use his flintlock pistol to kill a kraken. Who are you? What happened to you? Unknown soul. Don't know who he is, but apparently he shouldn't be too hard to figure out. He disappeared in this chapter. And he first appeared in... When the guys did one quite early on. Okay. And those are the only two times we even see him. Crazy. Oh. You know what? Can I go to his page? Met an unknown fate. I think we can reliably say he was... What specific method of death are we attributing to this guy? Was he crushed? Was he drowned? Was he eaten? Was he torn apart? Was he strangled? Beyond this specific moment in time, I don't know what happened next with him and the kraken. would wager torn apart by a terrible beast is probably a good starting point. He's well dressed. He's right at the back near the helm. Oh my god, have I not got a navigator? Is he my navigator? Like, well, who's driving this thing? Helmsman, Finley Dalton. He's the helmsman. How did I not identify the helmsman until now? He stood by the helm. Where he goes, though, is just... Bye! I don't know what happens to you. We never see you again. This is the last time we'll see you. That's Abigail, you know, biting a mast. This is Martin Parrott getting out of the way of the mast, leaving the captain's wife to face the music. This is our bosun. Oh yeah, the tentacle has his arm. In the next scene, our man doesn't have an arm. There are a few prizes for guessing what happens next. Is he? He keeps showing up in a lot of the scenes next to bosun. Do you reckon he might actually be... No, he doesn't. He's not next to the bosun here at all. He does seem to be in a lot of these scenes where I'm looking for the bosun. Every time I look for the bosun, this guy's here. I'm wondering if he's my Frenchman. He's wearing a stripy top, which is outrageously French. I don't know. No. I don't feel comfortable putting that in there. That is a wild speculation based on a stripy top. Oh, that takes us to another scene. Who are you? Topman, clubbed by Whitroll. 3 pips, hard to deduce who he might be. That's Marba. Oh, that's what's left of Marba after the previous scene. Ooh. Who are you? The names are kind of guesses, honestly. And they again, all the ones where I've said, they're alive, they made it out on a boat. The maps are so vague as to be useless. I can't literally... I literally cannot figure out where they're supposed to be. I've tried a bunch of places. Check... What specific easy to identify jobs are missing? Could do that, yes. Okay. It's not a bad starting point. Right. Who do we not know? Martin Parrott. We've got all the officers are now... Three of them are set in stone. The 4th one literally is only there through process of elimination. And I'm not sure what happens to him. I think he gets away, right? Yeah, he doesn't have a dies. If they die, there is a they died in this scene. Perished in, see? So Parrott actually doesn't have a dies in, which means he just disappears at some point. Don't know where. Bosun's mate is what I'm trying to figure out. You'd think he'd be easier than he is. Winston Smith the carpenter and his carpenter's mate, 2 Americans. I've not come across any carpentry scenes that I can comfortably recall. The cook was easy, the butcher was easy, the gunner weren't too hard. The purser, he just disappears and I just don't know where he's gone. I assume it's the guy who had the book, because basically he's the ship's bookkeeper. There is a guy in one of the scenes, he's stood on one of the boats getting away, and he's in his arms, he's cradling like massive notebooks. I presume he's the purser. The helmsman we've just got, he's Other than the specific method of death, I think we've got him. The passengers we know-ish. She looked like she was being eaten in the scene where she died, but she's not been checked off, so I don't know. The Indian ship's steward, I feel like he should be easy to find, but I've not seen anyone who looks like an Indian ship's steward. Yeah, the cost carpenter, yeah, does, or anything involving woodwork on the ship, yeah, which presumably will be mostly repairs and things. There is a scene which refers to the carpenter. It might be worth checking that one. Philip Dahl, the captain's steward from Sweden. I have no idea how I've pegged him as that. I can't remember what the context is. Apparently he doesn't show up very often. He was only in 3 scenes. Samuel Galligan, the second mate steward. I'm pretty sure I would have said he was pretty right. I'm literally not allowed to edit him, actually. He's... Oh, he must be confirmed as definitely correct on the basis that he's seen killing somebody in another scene, and then he's been marked as, yes, Samuel Galligan killed somebody. So we know Samuel Galligan is him because he was seen killing somebody. He's confirmed through another character, essentially. He, I thought, got stabbed by one of the mer people. I'm sure he got stabbed by one of the mer people, so why this is not correct, I'm not sure. He was defo crushed by a cannon. We've only recently put him in. He might not be confirmed yet. Fourth mate steward, what happens to him? Oh, he's a disappearance. Actually, that's weird because he it doesn't say Martin Perrott doesn't say perished or disappeared. There just isn't a final scene in which he's in. What? He's a weird one. Okay. And then we are getting down into the ranks. There are a lot of seamen, topmen, midshipmen. I don't know if the midshipmen might have more distinguishing features. There are only 3 of them. Some of them are a little bit more distinct because of their nationality. Like Maba, the New Guinean topman, he had the tattoos. That kind of tied him to that particular role. I have heard it said that the Chinese topmen are some of the hardest characters in the game to identify. There are 4 of them. They're all reasonably unnoteworthy. They just appear in the background in a lot of scenes. And I think I figured out one of them, but that's about it. I think I got that from his bed. The Indian ship steward should be easy. I think. It should be. Sounds like he should be. The carpenters should be easier. And Timothy Butement from Scotland. I'm sure he comes up somewhere in this, but I'm not sure where. It's going to be difficult to track down that bit again. Definitely at some point I was like, is this Timothy Butement? Yeah, if you don't know who it is, it just gives you the picture and says, would you like to identify them in the scene? To which the answer is no. No, I wouldn't. Winston Smith, the carpenter. Marcus Gibbs, the carpenter's mate. I want the bosun's mate and then I want the carpenter's. I am intrigued by his recurring proximity to our bosun, though. I want my bosun, man. I want my bosun. I'm gonna go through all of the bosun scenes and try and find him. And oh shoot, this is literally the last bosun scene. And our other guy wasn't even in it. Wow. Because I know how he dies. Where's my Frenchman? The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart. Which says the Frenchman is his mate. Although, I mean, I guess we know that. It literally says bosun's mate, French, Charles Minor. Arse. I think it could be him. Let's have a look at the carpenters then. Fine. What scene were they in? They would have been in Bitter Cold, I think. Come to illness, cow was slaughtered. Take him to the carpenters. Is the carpenter in the scene? That's what we need to know. Is who German? Our bosun, I think he was Austrian or something? Yeah, bosun Austrian. I don't think there are any actual Germans on the ship, no. Klestil from Austria is about as close to Joni as you're gonna get. Where's the cow? There was a cow somewhere. Is the cow down a deck? Yeah, you wouldn't keep the cow on the gun deck.
Heads are here. One swing.
Wait, that's not. This is not the scene.
I'll cut her throat when you've done it. Here? Yeah. Come on before she kicks up.
That's how we know he's the butcher. This is Charlie.
Never been on a farm, Charlie.
Unknown soul. Oh, wait. Are these all... Oh, he was a midshipman. Oh, there were only 3 midshipmen. There were 3 midshipmen here. Right? And they'll wear like a tie. These are midshipmen, aren't they? Ooh, here's a good little game we can play. We know how both the midshipmen die, we just don't know which one's which. Let's try them the other way around. Yes. Peter Milroy's right. Roderick Anderson, crushed by a loose cannon. Why was he not sorted earlier? He's been there for a while, I think. Finley Dalton, torn apart by a terrible beast. I feel like some of these have been sat in place for a... Oh, the helmsman was torn apart. Oh, we got the squid right when he was torn apart. Brilliant. Cool. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So the helmsman's sorted. He absolutely has to be, by context, the only other midshipman remaining. So he's good. So yeah, the butcher is being assisted by the 3 midshipmen there. Cool. There's some of our Formosans. There's... Is that the ship's surgeon? Yeah, Henry Evans has a monkey. That dude's deadzo. He's actually like the main focus of the scene. He's how we go. No, actually, no. He's the continuation of the scene. Like if you explore each scene, most scenes like you find out about how someone or something died, but there's usually something involving the death of someone or something else going on in the background as well. So I think this was like the follow-on scene. I don't think we need that, though. I'm looking for the carpenter. Would the carpenters look distinctly? Possibly. Possibly. I don't know, though. Right, so... bitter cold. Cow slaughtered. Oh, take him to the carpenters, get him wrapped, and see to the last rites. Oh, that was the guy that was being... Oh, that was the dude that was being hauled up the stairs. Okay, 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 okay. Can we see him?
Well? Same as the other fellow. Some lung disease. Not consumption. Made worse by the cold.
Will it spread?
If so, we'd all have it. They must have picked it up at the Alaska house. I checked all hands just now, and everyone is healthy.
And him? What are his chances?
I gave him some laudanum. We'll see.
So this is a chap who's being dragged up the stairs. We've got surgeon's mate James Wallace, strangled by a beast. He should be right. Third mate Martin Parrott, don't know what happens to him. He's the surgeon. Out here we've got, same as the other guy. Yeah, so they mentioned the carpenter there, but I don't think the carpenter ever got, like, an appearance. They talked about taking him to the carpenters, but, like, nothing ever came of it, I don't think. I think that was the last we heard of the carpenters. What the carpenters will do, I don't know. Would they have a hammer? Yeah, maybe. Could be. One worth looking for, I suppose. I'm stuck on a corpse. Great. Let me out of here. I don't want to be in a corpse. Corpses are gross. This is the follow-on guy. First one who died. This is a good scene because it helps you, like, hey look, this guy's number 58. Just for some of them, you can see who they are at any rate. Which is quite nice. Gives you some nice positive IDs, but I've been through this scene. One of the interesting observations I've seen of the game was that you apparently come back to one or two scenes over and over and over again, and they act as kind of a weird sort of anchor point, a focal point in time through which you come back and explore the journey and the events over and over again. I kind of haven't really found that myself. I've been exploring a lot of different paths and events and things in the game, but I've not really found myself coming back to the same events. So whether I've just not dug deep enough to get to that point, or whether I'll start doing that later on, or what, I don't know. Certainly I feel like the execution is a fairly major event in proceedings. Carpenters. Because then, I mean, after the carpenters, that's where that chapter ends, and we don't find out anything more until the murder happens. There is no more carpenters. You don't get the carpenters after that. In our pictures, would the carpenters look different? Maybe. Maybe. You can't really make them out in enough detail. I feel like the number of, like, particularly distinct and unique characters that we find in any given scene. Whoops, does everything still work? I accidentally pressed the Windows key, which seems to be the one thing that does conveniently break the game. Normally, this game does not let you, like, tab out of it in any way, shape, or form, but I pressed Windows and that did it. I agree with you. I feel like they should be identifiable and relatively easy. It has not come up. I don't know where I would find them either. Where would you even need a carpenter in any of these scenes? Unknown topman. One of the Chinese ones. Guess them. Let's just guess them. I'll say the correct if it's correct, right? Don't know. No. I don't think we're in a good place to be guessing right now. James Wallace, Surge's mate, strangled by a terrible beast. He definitely was. He perished in Soldiers of the Sea. We've seen his job. Is his cause of death not quite right? Like, the crab has its claws around his neck. I would say that was pretty bang on. And he is just another one of the random topmen. Is it Li Hong? Is it Ji Zhang? Is it Huang Li? Is it an unknown topman? It's an unknown topman. Let's have a flick through. I think his name I've got from this scene, because I think... Actually, why do I... I don't know how I've got his name. Must have put it in there for some reason. He was not on the boat. I don't know. I don't actually know where he went in the scene. Oh wait, hang on. Is that where now? Is Omid Gul in here? What was the last scene he was in? Disappeared in the Doom. Omid was not in here. Not here. Oh wait, hang on. We've got multiple pictures, haven't we? Marba. Topman. Topman. Like straight up, like, give me the scenes that guy was in then. 7 memories. Bookmark his memories. The last time we see him is on the main deck, in the explosion scene. Corpse. Up top. Up top here then. Okay. Was that him? It's not him, but this is the, I guess this is the corpse. Jalen Pierre, hello. Oh, you're off ski, Evangelion? Okay. Have a good sleeps. I'll see you later. Okay, this is the last time we see Omid Gul. That's Marba. Thomas Lank. Is he just like in the grasp of a tentacle somewhere that I've not seen? Or, oh my god, no, he's... That's him. That's the last time we saw him. He's been thrown overboard. He almost certainly drowned by a terrible beast. I don't know, is that right? Fell? Overboard! Fell overboard. I didn't realize that was a thing. Fell overboard is a thing. Oh yeah, I guess the explosion threw him overboard? Yeah, okay. This was the last time he was seen, yeah. He just fell overboard. Apparently I'm still missing some folks. Tentacles, yeah, tentacles. It's a kraken. Yeah, there's tentacles. See? See the tentacles. What's the Lank? He's okay here. He survives this scene. There's no one else. It's really interesting to find the people who disappeared into the details in the background a bit, actually. It's not a weird tentacle, it's just a kraken tentacle. It's perfectly normal. He escaped somewhere. Whaley, Topman, met an unknown fate. Where did he go? When was the last time we saw him? Bookmark him. And then take me to him. The last time we saw Whaley was during Abigail's death scene. Where did she die? Oh, she's in this. She's in Captain's quarters, obviously. Hello, Scallyface. Right, where are you? That's our bosun. That's the top man, that's Marba. Who's this? There he is. The last time we saw him, a tentacle was picking him off the rigging. I'm guessing he was torn apart by a terrible beast. Bingo! Whaley, boom, good. Omid Gull? Yes, absolutely. Thomas Lank, cool. Ding, ding, and ding. It's coming together nicely. I was kind of planning on sort of making this the last stream just because I felt like I was running out of steam a bit with it, and now I'm kind of like picking it back up a bit. I was kind of like, oh god, I'm getting like, I'm running out of ways to deduce things, and also, are people even interested in this anymore? And now, like, I don't know, folks are watching, I'm finding things out, this is working. Maybe I will do more, who knows. Is there anything more to learn in this scene? I'm liking these disappearances, actually, because then you could... all the ones where they just disappear, they're actually not hard to find. Because you just find the last scene that they're in. Bookmark their memories. Go back. Where was this guy? Davy James. We're pretty sure we know who he is. Last time he was seen was on this bit. Okay. Leonid Volkov getting shot up top. We should probably leave this scene first. Where's the way out? Okay, let's head back up top, have a look at Volkov, and see what he can teach us about the world. Are you Volkov? You're not Volkov. Are you Volkov? You're Volkov. So did that guy get away?
Let them go!
Where is Kiddo? That's just a passenger. That's just a passenger. Well, he's not a passenger actually. No, he's the surgeon. He's not remotely a passenger. She's a passenger. Oh, here's our kiddo. Oh, he probably is alive in... Oh, where are we at the minute? In this bit of the story? Escape is in... Where do you define this as? Is it the Atlantic Ocean? Somewhere between Madeira and the Azores and the Canary Islands. I don't think Madeira is an option, so it's the Azores or the Canary Islands. He's alive in the Azores, fine, whatever. Is he alive in the Canary Islands? I don't know. Probably the Azores, if anything. Nearer to the Azores, I think. Could just be an Atlantic island, because that is an option as well. So unhelpful. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he got away. I really hate all of the "they got away" ones, because the locations are so vague. If the map was like here, if they're like, oh, this happened here, I'd be like, fine, they're in the Azores. The fact that it's like halfway between the Azores and the Canary Islands is less than helpful. Who else disappeared during this chapter then? She got away, he got away. I've not, like, come to any consensus, clearly, on where they got away. I said Atlantic Island for those. I mean, let's just say they were all the Azores, right? The thing is, I don't know whether these passengers are the right way around either. Alive in the Azores. Fine. Alive in the Azores. Is she, in fact, Emily? And she might be Jane. No. Maybe they're all alive in the Canary Islands then. Maybe he's alive in the Canary Islands. Nope. Is he alive in the Canary Islands? I feel like if these were right, sooner or later it would just go, ding! Yes, you've got 3 of them. And that's what I'm looking for. So maybe that's Emily. No, I already said it was Emily, so she needs to be Emily. And she would be Jane Bird. She's not Bun Lan Lin, she's Jane Bird. Oh no, I've messed this up. Because that means I've unidentified Bun Lan Lin. Where's Bun Lan Lin? She is. Nope, my guesswork plan has failed. Right, fine. Who disappeared during the Doom? He is somehow alive in the Canary Islands. He's alive in the Azores. He's alive in the Azores. Who is this? What fate befell them? I don't know anything about him. Unless he is Charles Minor, the bosun's mate, who we were told was torn apart by a beast. Could be. When was the last time we saw him? Is a very good question. Bookmark memories. The last time he appeared was in... Really, the Abigail scene? We've just done the Abigail scene. Let's have another nosy and try and find him. I think he just looked like... I think he just looked okay in that scene. The last time we saw him, he was okay. Yeah. The last time we saw him, he was sticking a spear into a tentacle in order to try and save the bosun who was currently being tentacled. I can see how this situation could go south from there. I can see how he could wind up being tentacled in instead, but, you know. You know what, I'm going to leave him there as that. I mean, he might be right. He might actually be on the money with that one. I was speculating about how he might be the bosun's mate. He's kind of trying to save the bosun there. He's got a stripy top, which is, you know, oh so French. Call it stereotypical if you like, but this game seems to play into stereotypes pretty well. Like, if you see like, oh, they wouldn't possibly, like the guy from... Where's he even from? Was he from... Where was Marba from? He was from some, like, island somewhere, wasn't he, I think? Everyone's pretty stereotypical. Marba. New Guinea, right? Marba's from New Guinea. The Persian guy is wearing a turban, you know? They look exactly like you would expect them to look, I think. Okay, chapters. Where... Let's have a look at... Did anybody escape during murder? I don't think so, no. Who escaped during the calling? He was drowned, he was clawed, we know that. They're good, they're sorted. Nobody vanished during Unholy Captives. During Soldiers of the Sea. Nobody disappeared, okay. The Doom we just looked at. Did anybody disappear during Bitter Cold? I don't think so. I think we've got that chapter done, right? And Loose Cargo. Now, people don't start disappearing until a little bit later. I think some people... They disappear during the calling. Yes, but they're identified. Right. We need to go to... Escape? They're alive, they're alive, they're alive, they're alive. So 4 people got away on a ship, I just don't know where they got to. And nobody got away at the end. Brilliant. That's all the disappearances are kind of accounted for then. Arse. I was hoping to find more out. Is there any more... Is there anything more useful in this? Just somewhere in Europe. There's not escaped, is there? Not just a general escaped. Fine. Man, if I could figure out who shot him, that would be really helpful. Super helpful. Can I do that? Is that a thing I can do right now? He was shot by Emily Jackson. or Jane Bird. One of the two. If I can find two others that I can tie in, I can actually use him to identify the passengers through the, essentially the guesswork. It's not guessing if it's only 50-50. That's my approach. He's the purser, he got away. Yeah, he got torn apart. I feel like we got a lot of it. We got over half of it, technically. Unknown soul was shot by an unknown attacker. Oh yeah, that was him. That one's a vague scene. He's good, he's sorted, he's good, he's sorted. This guy I feel like should be right. I'm almost certain his identity is right. Which makes me think he was strangled by... He wasn't strangled. What would you say? Crushed? Decapitated? Decapitated! They were claws. They weren't strangling them. There were claws around those guys' heads. Also, we've not needed the descriptor decapitated yet, so it's going to come up somewhere, right? Don't know who he is. Hey, catch. I kind of want to see that scene played out again. So... gun deck. There is the line there, hey, come on, boss. This is our man? So this guy, yeah, in this scene, this is the guy that said, come on, boss.
What's going on? Stay back! It's already going to the neck. Hey! Come on, boss! No, get there! Hey! Cat!
Oh! Are these our carpenters? He's throwing an axe at the guy! Why would he be carrying an axe if he's not the carpenter? I think we got him. Yeah, okay. He's our carpenter. He was totally unknown, but he's not the carpenter. In fact, he's the carpenter's mate, because he shouted, come on, boss. Also, yeah, he kind of had an American twang. Three-face correct, come on. So, Marcus Gibbs, carpenter's mate, brilliant. They were decapitated. Oh, he was... oh, yes, the Frenchman. I got the Frenchman right. Yes. Cool. Okay, that's good. That's good. That must make him his boss, when he's like, come on, boss! And he's like, no, don't! He is our carpenter. He's Correctamundo, but I need at least one more Correctamundo before I can identify my man. If I'd known I was one away, I actually probably would have done Volkov. Who are you? John Davies, 4th mate, along with 4th mate Steward. Also watching this was Lars Lind. Also huddling back here, Nathan Peters, who gets away later. Okay, so Carpenter's fates are figured out. That's good. Just to check on old Evangelion's theory, like what were they dressed as? Shirt and trousers. Nothing particularly distinctive. Literally the only thing is he's like, here, take this, and what is being yeah, look at it, so you can see it spiral through the air. Quite, that's cool. Yeah, so what is literally being thrown at the beast at that point is an axe. He's literally just throwing the axe at the beast. Why would he have an axe? Because he's a carpenter. That's not the way out, that's just a doorway. Oh. I thought that was the way out of the level. Anything exciting going on up here? Topman speared by beast. I think that's our follow-on scene. Who have we got hiding here? Akbar. Okay, that's good. That's some headway. How do I even get there? How do I even get to this scene? Unknown soul. Who is he? What would he be? Bookmark him. Let's have a flick through, see if I can identify him. He was blasted with a cannon by a terrible beast. Do I know... There is a gunner's mate, isn't there? Do I know who that is and what happened to them? Is there a gunner's mate? Gunner's mate, Polish, was shot. Okay, yeah, I know, he's sorted. So... what happened to him in that scene? The fuse! Boom. Okay. What's happened here? Loose cannon! Abraham Akbar. Okay, no, not useful. But, like, it's immediately before the scene. I feel like there's got to be some clues here. "13 others were present in the scene in which Edward Spratt was crushed." 13 others! I don't remember anyone else in the scene where he got crushed. I just remember him being there. I need to go have a look at his scene. What else happened with 13 other people? Am I at the right end of the ship? Where am I? Where am I? Edward. On to Edward Spratt. Edward Spratt was on the gun deck, the front. I'm in the wrong place. I'm still in the wrong place. That's the back of the ship. I can never figure out. I don't know why I have such trouble with this. I can never figure out which is the front and which is the back of the ship once I'm below decks. Hello, skeleton of Edward Spratt. He just really got sort of squelched. Charming. Oh, I guess this is the first we know of the tentacle. Is the Edward Spratt was out here, sort of at the prow, looking out to sea. Tentacles come, and everyone's like, "What on earth's going on out there?" He's busy doing his cook stuff. Come on. He is. Oh, he's a steward, not a cook. Okay. I've got some more beds. Are they helpful? Okay, we got 2 here. Can we identify these? Shot cannon beast. Whaley, the top man. Okay. We got 41 and damn it. Can't see the number on this one. He totally does have a tag, but it's like hidden. Let's have a look over here. What we got over here? 45. Just 45. That's 41. So I presume it's 42 or 43. 36. 48, 49. It's not even in order. 44. 43. 41. One presumes 42. This is 42. He is... I'm gonna say... Ah, shoot. 42 is already accounted for. Arse. Okay, can't be 42. Who's 42? .42 is Nicholas Bottrell. We know what happens to Nicholas Bottrell. He's done for. Okay. So, I mean, if he's 40... Fine, if he's 41, could he be 40? Is 40 an option? Can you be 40? He could be Li Hong. He is playing games with the other Chinese crew, right? There are 4 Chinese crew, and there are 4 of them playing games in the foreground there. Down this end we have third mate's steward alongside the third mate. Makes sense. If he's... So if he's right, then Volkov damn it! Does the game know I'm guessing and is not willing to give me it because of that? Or is this guy just wrong? Because I've got one that's definitely correct. We know for sure. He... He should be number 40 or 42. And 42 is accounted for, so it can't be 42. So he should be number 40. Is this how I know him to be number 41? Is 41 Whaley? Whaley, it is. Okay, so he's yeah, he's right. He's good. He doesn't look super Chinese, mind you. Compared to the actual Chinese crew, he doesn't look as he doesn't look like the stereotype like all the others are, you know. So if he wasn't a Chinese topman, is he an English topman? He can't be number 44, can he? Have we got a 44? 49, 48, 36. 43, 44. He can't be number 44 because 44 is in his bed. By process of elimination, he definitely cannot be number 44. Would that make him Timothy Butemont? And then... where's my Volkov man? Where is he? Was he in fact shot by Emily? No! So it would make sense that all these guys in the foreground are just the topmen. They're all together, playing games together. Well, there's a couple seamen just watching their... yeah, Leonid Volkov. Oh, he was set in stone a moment ago. He's actually not now. Interesting. Why is he not? 48, 49, 36. We've seen those, right? Can we see anything else up top? Ooh, okay. Omid Gul was up top. Lars Lind. Oh, right. This is where John Davies and his steward found the dead body of Lars Lind. There's a lot going on in the background of this scene. A lot more than I gave it credit for. I thought it was just dude getting strangled. But dude got strangled whilst a lot of things were happening. A lot of things that are not terribly helpful, but you know. Not at this stage. What have we got here? Just X. Mysterious Mr. X. Fine, let's leave this scene. My guesswork has not gotten me terribly far. My guesswork never gets me terribly far, actually. Sometimes gets me somewhere, but I need one more person for sure. And then Leonid Volkov, wherever he may be. Where was he? Where was he again? He was shot in Escape, right? No. See, this was not up for debate earlier. Now it is. Which is curious. We know it's Leonid Volkov because he ran them through with a sword, ran this guy through with a sword, and that's confirmed. And then he immediately... Yeah, so we know he was run through by Leonid Volkov. The guy here was literally killed by this dude. This guy, confirmed as Paul Morse, confirmed killed by this guy, confirmed as Leonid. Leonid then was shot with a gun by the passenger. I just don't know who. And the fact that my guesswork doesn't confirm it means I've only got one correct at the moment. If I can find one more person somewhere on this ship to confirm for sure, I can guess him. He probably isn't right then, or he might not be right. He's not Timothy Butemans. Would he be Lewis Walker? And if he would be Lewis Walker, straight the bargain. Then was he killed by Emily? Damn it! These topmen are pretty difficult to get, actually. There's quite a lot of them. And they're all quite minor roles. Unknown topman. Unknown topman. I'm guessing he looks like he would be one of the Chinese topmen as well. Is there anything more to see in this scene, actually? That's going to be an interesting one. I hadn't thought about it, but is there anything like below decks going on? It's very easy to focus on what's going on in the scene, when there could be more going on elsewhere.
What the hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends?
No. He was spiked. Yep, the spike went through them both.
Shell?
Chiotan spiked. Sure. John Naples, we got him. Him. What the devil did happen to him? This was one that, like, I questioned this earlier, and now I kind of want to go and see what actually became of him. He just sort of vanishes in the story. I don't feel like we even get he doesn't get marked as dying or disappearing. He just disappears from our story at some point. Like, not even officially, he disappeared, he just is no longer in it. The very final time our third mate was seen was in, once again, Abigail's death. We're saying about memories we keep coming back to earlier. Actually, Abigail's... she's in the captain's quarters. I keep looking for her on a deck as well. And the first time I needed it, I was like, yeah, no, she's in the captain's quarters. And now I'm keep looking on the deck like, why isn't she here? She should have been crushed. So he's the first mate steward. We know him, he's the helmsman. Gunner's mate. This is who we're looking for, right? This is the very final time that we see Martin Perrott in the story. He's about to land on his face, but, you know, broadly speaking, nothing wildly untoward is actually happening to the man in this scene. The squid has not got him. The master's not got him. He's not gone overboard. There is no known cause of death here. Martin just kind of, like, is never seen again. This is the last time he appears. Oh! Something must happen to him during the bargain. Oh. He's a sacrifice to the gods. There's no other characters that I've like picked up on the fact that that happens. There's no other characters that you can look at and go, yeah, where does he go? He just, yeah, Martin Perrott's the only one who like straight up vanishes. He's a 2, he should be easy. If I just could figure out which island he was on, that would be fine. So he's good, he should be right. No clue about him. Dunno. Dunno. The only ones that are left are the really hard ones for the most part. No idea. She is supposed to be like super easy. Because I know who she is. We know she's right. It's just that cause of death must be wrong. Was... I don't know. Well, I mean, what was she? It genuinely looked like she was eaten by the beast. It looked like it was like actually eating her, you know? Eaten by Captain... was cannibalized by Captain Robert Whittrell. No. Was clawed by a terrible beast? Torn apart by a terrible beast. I think clawed might be your next best bit. If it's not... If it's not eaten, if eaten is not correct, then it has to be torn apart. Let's have a look at those scenes again. Try and have another look at her. Can I use the doodad on her? Use doodad on him.
Keep rowing!
Oh, she's alive in that one.
Where is it? There! Something there!
I see it!
Give us a weapon! Shoot it! My kid eye!
Pick up the oars and row, you fools!
sir. Checked and loaded them myself.
Good. Stay quiet and alert.
Perfectly alive there.
No chance against the Obra Dinn.
Shoot ya!
Don't know who that is, but he was speared. They say strange things about monsters. Have any way of figuring out who he is? He's just one of the Chinese guys, which narrows it down to like 3. Oh, we guessed it. Alright. Li Hong, speared by a beast. That was so guessy. But she's ticked off because I needed her ticked off. Claude was the right answer. Winston Smith the Carpenter, good. Should have gone back and done Volkov though. Damn it. Still missing Volkov. I need to figure out those passengers. Alright. Who's left? Who's 1 or 2 pips? I think she was the only one who was a 1 pipper. I think there's not many 2s either. Unknown. Chapter 1 and 2 are pretty complete. Loose cargo, only 1 person died, that's fine. Bitter cold, 2 people died, we got them both. Murder, Nunzio, Hong Sen Lao. Unknown soul shot with a gun by an unknown attacker. Let's... Okay, so this is the one that... Oh, this is the one that's outside... That. Outside the window. Let's have a nosy at that. Not super familiar with that scene. I remember it. I don't remember the specifics. I don't remember it being terribly helpful, though. I do seem to recall that one being one of those kind of vague ones. There's blood in there. It's not the one I'm after. I don't think. Yeah, it's this one. Murder.
On your toes.
Go back!
Here.
Captain!
Slack the lifts and lower the boats. The whole crew will be on us. Give it up.
So I had him pegged as unknown attacker, but we know who this is by now, right? This second mate Edward Nichols. So he was murdered by second mate Edward Nichols. Cool. And he is also, I want to say, one of the Chinese topmen. Huang Li, maybe, or Jizang. Don't know which. Unknown topman. Right, we've got that tied down a bit better. This is our Irishman. He wasn't correct either, was he? He's still still speared by a terrible beast. How are you not correct? How is this wrong? There are so many memories that I'm like, yep, these are great, these are perfect. And the game's never ticked them off. Which means they can't be great, they can't be perfect. Patrick O'Hagan. Yeah, all the folks who show up in the next scene. Who's this? Oh, he explodes later, sure. Lars. Lars has a pretty rough time of it. Oh. Helmsman Finley Dalton. He's got a spear through his leg, but that is not how he died. I'm guessing that was just there as kind of a red herring. Yeah, okay, that's that guy we just identified. Alarkas Nikishkin? Nikishin? It bangs here. Yeah, we know a lot of people in this scene, to be fair. Okay, well I know how he gets shot now. I can maybe guess him later. It's helpful. I've figured out how he died, which means I've kind of narrowed him down to 2 options. Which is helpful. Speared, speared. How is he not speared? I need calling part 3. I can never remember which one takes me where. Calling part 6.
Ahoy! Wait! Don't shoot! I have treasure! I yield!
Hold your fire!
The shell. So then this is part 4, which is when our little lady Formosan gets herself killed.
What
In fact, this is not how she dies, but so he's got his face stuck in a giant flame. He gets burned. Hagen. There we go. It's Galligan, even not. Speared by a beast. I mean, dude has... Is that not a spear through his head? Did he get murdered as in part of all this? Oh man, I need to see this one. Have I misseen this scene? Yeah, I said it. I've misseen the scene.
Oh, Haggis, you still breathing? Can you roll? Nichols, sir, shoot them for God's sake!
So our guy in the bottom of this skirmish is Galligan. Oh, I just saw the thing where he had a thing sticking out of his head in the later scene. I didn't realize that actually Galligan got a knife stuck in the back of his head by Itbang Seer. He's knifed by Itbang Seer. Okay. Not killed with a sword. Knifed. Boom. Yeah, that's right. He's right. I got him. Did we peg anybody else recently? Phrasing. Did we get anybody else like nailed down? Unknown topman, not useful. So Galligan's good. They're fine. Unknown soul spiked by a beast. Not helpful. Chinese guy electrocuted. Bah. I can guess them, but it's not ideal. Topman decapitated. Don't know who he is. Unknown soul shot with a gun by an unknown attacker. I hate this. The fact that you can't like look through the window and identify anyone's really unhelpful as well. I mean, how many people could he be? He's dressed like a steward. He is dressed like a steward, and there's only one steward that I don't know. And he's got a sort of Indian vibe. Not like super like obviously, not as like obvious as I kind of maybe expect, but I could, yeah, okay. I reckon we might be able to figure him out. They make for that. All right, let's. We're done with this scene. We've seen everything we need to see here. Let's go find him in the downstairs corridors and have a look. See if I can peer through the windows. Find who fired that bloody shot. And if it's somebody we know at this point. It might be someone we have identified since then? Where is he? He's on the all-up deck. Just down one. Round. I want to say here. No, other end. Always the other end. Whichever end of the ship I think it's at, it's the other end. You there. Reveal your secrets unto me.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Someone did shoot the damn thing. It was that guy. That completely unidentified guy. And I just can't see him well enough or lock onto him through the window. William Hoscott. Not really helpful. It's... all I know is it's a guy in, like, white trousers, and I'm not sure if he's topless or wearing a white shirt. Okay, fine. Can we look in the previous scene and find a guy wearing white? Because then we might be able to identify him from that. In the previous scene, Emil was the one we're looking for. I know where to find him. Pinned up against a wall by some spiky spikes. You there, you're Emil, right? Okay.
I've got you. Don't move. I'll get you down.
So in this scene, our man is crawling away around here. He's made it halfway down the corridor. This is not long before he gets shot. It can't be very long at all before that happens. Which you would think would mean whoever shot him is in this scene. What is our bosun doing? Our bosun is handing... It's not a gun, is it? Is it a gun? Is there a gun? Oh, it is a gun. He's handing a gun. He's handing a gun to the carpenter. Nobody else in this scene has a gun. Oh, okay. Which I think means that he was shot with a gun by Winston Smith. I think I got two. Which means I'm gonna go guess those passengers now. I want them. I want this to be right. Oh, there's just that moment when you type it in and you just want it to go dun and go to black, which means you got 3 of them. I ain't got 3 of them. There ain't any other passengers it could be. All Formosans have met their fates by this point. Nunzio straight up murdered. There's literally only these 2. Abigail we know gets crushed. It has to be Emily or Jane who murders him. At that point then, have I got his identity wrong? I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure he's right. At one point he was like for sure written in. Dang it. So I'm sure that's right now. Pretty sure that's right. Lewis Walker, the topman, blasted by a cannon by a terrible beast. Why is he Lewis Walker? Because he's English. Could be Scottish. No. Definitely blasted. I just don't know. No? Just don't know who he is. Could he just be a seaman? Yeah, we guessing. I feel like a Hamadou Diom would be fairly distinctive and kind of obvious. Nathan Peters, man, all these people who are alive, I just like when I get to the end, we're almost getting there. All the people who are just at the end figuring out where they actually are alive is just going to be the trickiest bit of the game. We've almost got... If you ignore all the people who survived, there's not many left. We've almost got everyone else. Unknown topman. He looks Scottish. Don't know where I'm getting that from. He does look Scottish though. I feel like he came up somewhere, but if they'd mentioned him by name, yeah, he would have 1 pip, not 3. I think that's Timothy. If it were right, it would have confirmed it, though. So something's wrong somewhere. Henry Evans, I know you're right. Where are you alive? Where's Cape Verde? I don't even know where that is. Middle East. The United Kingdom. Might have got home. Ah! See, as a character, like, he's definitely correct. He was definitely on a lifeboat. He definitely got away. I know who he is, and I know how he escaped. I just don't know where he escaped to. And if there was any way, and I thought there should be a way, to figure out who he is, to figure out... If I could figure out 2 others, I could guess the location that he is. Oh, Ulmo, crawl back into your trolley little hole. Nobody likes you. I commend your efforts to, like, make an effort to... The fact that you turn up every stream without fail to make some sort of shitty comment and then disappear is remarkable, but ultimately distinguishes you for the kind of character you are. Alright. Who else we got? Can I guess him? Can we pick some names? Were you spiked? Were you spiked? Nope. It's partly guesswork, and yeah, mostly guesswork, in fact. Nope. Nope. I mean, if he's Huang Li, then that would make... What was the other one? Ji Zhang. Oh, we got him. I guessed him. I guessed him. Hooray. Yeah, because you come into streams and troll people instead of being a supportive and active and positive-minded member of the community. People like that, you know? Woo! Okay, 3/4 of the way. We made good progress tonight. And I don't know what it means when you get into that little grey bit there. It means you're almost done, I guess. Timothy Buteman, that's clearly wrong, I guess. Don't know where he is, don't know where he is, don't know where they are. This is still wrong. We haven't got a clue who he is. Ooh. Could he be... He looks a lot like he would be a Hamadou. If anybody would be a Hamadou, I think it would be him. Of all the people who are left that are unidentified, he mostly looks like he might potentially be from Sierra Leone. I feel like that one might be a good call. Nathan Peters, don't know where he wound up. All these bloody boats. You every stream without fail, you turn up and make some sort of snarky remark and then disappear. You know damn well I am a pirate. How many options could there possibly be as to who he is? Well, he can't be one of the Chinese ones. We've established that. They're all accounted for now, actually. Supposedly the hardest ones to figure out, actually. So if he's not, he could be Timothy Buteman. That would make Beardy Face later on. English guy, where is he? He would be Lewis Walker. No one expects you to watch 12 hours of gameplay every week. This is what streaming is for. You turn up, like, and what... you turn up and watch the bits that you want to watch. If I'm streaming a game that looks interesting to you, or if you just want to hang out, you come and watch. This is are you familiar with streaming? It's very popular these days. Literally, there is not a single streamer on this planet who expects their audience to watch every minute of their content. I recognise they go up on the channel as VODs, but those are for the very dedicated who are like, I want to see this through from start to finish. The reality is that most people will not sit and watch VODs of entire massive things. It's just a place to hang out and have fun and just be fun. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. How about, like, yeah. Learn from Bambi. Bambi had good advice. It wasn't Bambi, it was... Who was it that said that? It wasn't Flower, was it? I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've seen Bambi, I'll be honest with you. Tulkas has entirely unreasonable expectations of humanity as a whole, I think. Tulkas is not a reasonable standard by which to judge any other human being. Unknown topman. Is he a topman? Are there any other topmen left? He's not... I've labelled far too many people as topmen, I think. Just like most of them, when I can't figure out who they are, I'm just like, it's an unknown topman. It's an unknown topman. He's an unknown topman. We're all unknown topmen, really. At the end of the day, when it really comes down to it, aren't we all unknown topmen? He's totally an unknown topman. Who are you? There are just so few options remaining. There are only 15 people left unaccounted for on the ship. If I can't figure out where some of these people got off... phrasing. Then... I'm just going to have to hand this book in and say, I'm done! I'm done, for God's sake! I'm done! How is this not correct? This guy was for sure absolutely defo. Oh. Right, let me have a look at that again then. Let's have a look at that scene. Where's the way out of here? Like, in the 30 seconds before his death, there was only one person carrying a gun, and he got shot. It narrows it down. Oh, it's Thumper, right. I just remember the line, he can call me Flower if he wants to. Yes, Thumper was his actual name, right.
Secure the hold.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Oh no, multiple people had multiple guns in that scene. Okay, crap. Clear still, where did you get a gun? And why can't I identify anyone in the background? This is the most frustrating thing. So who did I say was killed by? I said he was killed by Winston Smith. Winston Smith. I don't think it looked like that. Where was Winston Smith? Winston Smith must have been in one of these pictures. Where was he in these pictures then? Was he down here somewhere? Okay, so we got those two figured out. They're good. Carpenter. Oh, they were hanging around down here. Carpenter's mate Marcus Gibbs. Where's the actual Carpenter? He's at the back there, Winston Smith. Yeah, he's not the guy who shot him. That is not the guy who pulled the trigger in this scene. It was a bald guy, which totally does not narrow it down to anyone at all. It could be friggin' anybody. Like, who is that? Who's this supposed to be? Ugh. We could guess. Won't get me very far. I haven't got any others to eliminate eliminate it down through. I feel like I'm so damn close. And yet I also don't feel like... I feel like it's... Time is pressing on. I do have work in the morning. I'm not sure I can really hang around too much later tonight doing this. But I really, really want to get this figured out now. I can't do these unless I've got something for sure. If I could get two of them for sure... And I don't think I can do that anymore. I don't think there's any left to get for sure. Then I could go get someone I know and go through the places. Perished in unholy captives. This is what left the sound, take it below. So he... Who's left that we can actually... Who's left that it could actually be? I've got him down as unknown topman. But the only topmen unidentified at the moment are Scottish, English and Russian. He's not one of the officers. Or higher-ups. Definitely not one of the passengers. Gotta be him. That's gotta be Hamadou. I think I identified Hamadou as someone else earlier? But that's gotta be him. 'Cause who else could it be? Everyone else is English, Scottish or Russian. And the person who dies in this scene is speaking a language which is not English, Scottish, or Russian. You know? Not that I know what language they speak in Sierra Leone. Didn't think it was Chinese. Where's Sierra Leone? I don't know where that is. I mean, you're welcome to come by my streams, dang it, Elmo. but like if you turn up and be like, oh, you're a real pirate, it does not seem like you're intending that in a jovial, positive spirit. It sounds like you're here just to be an ass. Honestly. Is he a topman? How do we know he's a topman? Who could he be? Who else is he? What do we have to go on? He first appeared in just somewhere in the background of this. Probably someone who was sleeping, actually. And he perished, yeah, when he got shot. Not super helpful. Is he a topman? I don't know. Is he Timothy Buteman? Yeah, okay, he is Timothy Buteman. Oh my god. I've just finished 3 chapters. Hamadou is correctamundo. Lewis Walker was clubbed by Captain Robert Whittrell. Okay. Bing, bang, boom. So close. So, he's good. Disappearances, fine, fine, fine. Don't know. Still can't figure that one out. Disappearances, disappearances, disappearances. Someone who's blasted. Ugh, come on. How, what, why? Jeez. That was nasty. Fine. We're very good here. There's not a lot left at all. So he was shot with a gun by one of the passengers. Unless he's not who I think he is, but like, there's not many other options for him to be. These are literally the options left that are not confirmed. Philippe Dahl. Where do we think he is? We've not seen or heard much of Philippe Dahl. I don't think. Alright, take me back to the crew. Philippe Dahl, unknown. That's our man. That makes sense. He just disappears. He's also someone who just straight up vanishes. So something must happen in the bargain involving him. Kind of makes sense. In the calling, wasn't the calling, it was before the end of that, it was, no it's it, no, what am I missing? We're not missing anyone from the calling, No, we're not at all. That's so annoying, that one. So he was not shot by a carpenter. He was shot... The thing is, I've got nothing to narrow this down. It could be anybody on the ship. Blasted with a cannon by a terrible beast. How many could it be? It is not one of our officers. It is not one of our passengers. It's not Leonid. It's got to be Alexander or George. How I would figure out which one? I don't really know. So who are you, the unknown soul? I assumed that was... Man. Who is this then? I thought that was the Sierra Leone guy. He doesn't look like any one of these characters, really. Is he Alexander Booth? Maybe. Could be. So, escape is one of the chapters I need to figure out where they specifically are. There's no way to, like... I don't know, identify this more accurately, I guess. Because, I mean, if, you know, stuff happened around there, I'd be quite comfortable saying, yes, this was in the Canary Islands. Anywhere you disappeared during murder, or the calling, or unholy captives, be pretty comfortable saying it was the Canary Islands. Did anybody disappear in chapters 3, 4, and 5? Not sure they did. Chapter 7, 6, 5. Did anybody disappear in chapter 5? There were no disappearances in chapter 5. There were disappearances in chapter 4, but they were death disappearances. And there were no disappearances in chapter 3, so that's not helpful. Disappearances take place during chapters 7, The Doom, and 9, Escape. That's where all of them are. Which is to say, here, and... Oh yeah, the bargain must take place somewhere around here. So the Doom is a little close to the Canary Islands. Escape is a little close to the Azores. It's not usefully close to anything. That's like so smack bang in the middle between the Azores and the Canaries as to be worthless. Escape is a little close to the Azores. Fine. You are in the Azores. She is in the Azores. She is in the Azores. And she is Emily Jackson. No, she's Emily Jackson. She's Jane Bird. Nope. And these guys disappeared in Atlantic Islands. Nathan Peters is alive on Atlantic Island. Give me something, anything, game. How do you figure these islands out? The actual location of the ship has never been referred to in the story. All you have to go on is the map, and the map is the vaguest thing. When were they making out then? This was when Lars got clubbed. Let's have a look at that. I can't see there being any clues specifically in the scene to say, yes, they're here. Check their charts. They were headed towards the Canary Islands. I don't think that's a thing. But
let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody day. Huh?
How's that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Before I forget, you killed my brother.
What? That was an accident.
No ropes. It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing.
Lies. I shouldn't have waited so long.
No, don't.
that doesn't tell me. No point did they like, you're not gonna get on our boat to the Azores. That would have been really useful if they'd said something like that. He still don't look like an Alexander Booth to me, but... I ain't got anything better for him right now. Yo, shipped purser. Tell me your courses. Tell me your charts. Fine, maybe we say you were... Maybe you're not in the Atlantic. Maybe you got off in the Canary Islands. And so did you. And so did you. I'm still just every time I just still slightly hold my breath to just like, is it right? Maybe? No, never is. They're not alive in the Azores, and the other ones are not alive in the Canary Islands. Bastard. Alright, fine. The end, they wrap up somewhere also vaguely nowhere near anything useful. I feel like I've done okay. Should I just hand the book in and see what happens? I've narrowed it down to the most frustrating people to identify. And until I have two of them, I can't even guess. I mean... What have I got that I could possibly figure out? I know he was shot, and if I wanted to, I guess I could just literally go through the whole shopping list of people and just like go, was it Samuel Peters? Was it George Shirley? Was it Patrick O'Hagan? But he's not going to confirm it unless I've got two others to tie him in with. Ugh. I don't have those. Unless I, by wild random chance, managed to get the boats right. But if I'd done that, I would have known about that by now. The islands are just going to comfortably do my head in until the end of time. Henry, Davy, and the two women are all together. On the other boat, the purser, Nathan Peters I got right. Duncan McKay's I'm pretty confident about. Alexander Birth, no, not sure about. So I mean, if they were all right in the Canary Islands, could be the Alexander Booth one that's wrong. Could be George Shirley. Or, well, he ain't no steward. He's not really dressed like a seaman, though. He's dressed more like a... He's not an officer. I know he's not the surgeon. He's unlikely to be the ship's purser, because we've got the ship's purser in this scene. It's not a passenger. Don't think he's Leonid. Sure, he's got to be Alexander or George. Everyone else is kind of accounted for. And my options are, for being alive, Africa, Atlantic Islands, Azores, Canaries, Cape Verde, East Indies, I should say the Caribbean, no. Is it? No, wait, no, the East Indies is actually India, isn't it? No, West Indies is the Caribbean, right. Yeah, East Indies is not a term that really gets used by anybody anymore. I guess era appropriate, but sure. Europe, no, we're not even off the coast of Europe at this point, really. Near Africa. Which is an option. Are they alive in Africa? They're not in the Middle East. Are you alive in Africa? They're alive in Africa. They're alive in Africa! Oh my god, they're alive in Africa. Brilliant. Whew! There's 3 more. Good, I'm feeling good about this. So, that means she has to be Jane Bird. She is alive. She's alive in Africa. That means my dear... what's his face? Where did he die? He died in Soldiers of the Sea? No, he didn't. So that's 1 definitely correct. I would actually want to, you know, and I want to play this scene back again, actually. Because I've got a positive ID on her, so if I go into the scene, I can literally just see her shoot him. Yo, who did that? That was Emily Jackson, who is alive in Africa. Emily Jackson shot the man. Okay, so that's 2 definitely correct. 2 for sure. Good. Which means we can play the absolutely awful guessing game that is, who shot this guy? Was it, let's start at the bottom. Was it Samuel Peters? Was it George Shirley? Was it Patrick O'Hagan? Was it Alexander Booth? Was it Henry Brennan? Was not Henry Brennan. Was it Hamadou? Was it Solomon? Was it Wasim? Abraham? Renfred? Naples? Lars? Peters? Nope. Toporov? Nikishin? Leonard? Lewis? Maba? Probably not. Botterill? I think... I've definitely got 2 correct, so the moment I find the right one, it should freeze frame and go, da da da, yeah, you got it. Don't think it was the midshipman. The midshipmen were better dressed than that. I don't think it was a steward. We're just going to keep going, though. We are running out of people that it could comfortably be, actually. It would not probably not be Abigail Whittrell, or the artist, or the helmsman. No. Have I got the name wrong? Not Clesdell. Charles Minor. Hey, it was Charles Minor. Woo! Jane Bird's good. Charles Minor, he was tricky to track down earlier. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. 6 to go by the looks of that. There are only 6 people on the ship that we don't know the fates of. And some of them are going to take place in the... Weird thing is just these guys, isn't it? Nathan Peters. Still don't know whether these guys are right, for God's sake. Philip Dahl disappears at some point. Martin Perrott disappears at some point. Presumably one of these 2 disappears at some point. Are we saying Africa as well on some of these? The last one said Africa. It's not him. It's not him. It's not him. It's not him. There's no other options. Which means, are we not concluding that these people are in Africa? Man, I need to wrap this up as well. Maybe I need to do like a mini stream tomorrow just to like really completely wrap this up. I don't know. Because it's like nearly midnight. It's thereabouts. It probably is. Yeah, 23:58. Jeez. I have work in the morning. I can't keep doing this, but I need to know how it ends. We're so friggin' close. I've almost ID'd literally everybody. This is They had to be in the Canary Islands. Come on. They would have reached the Canary Islands before they reached Africa. How they got to Africa from up here, I'll never know, but they definitely didn't wind up in Cape Verde. We never made it to Cape Verde. Oh, and we've got... Oh, no, we have this guy as well. He would have been good to know. Alive in... I'm convinced it's got to be the Canary Islands. Is alive... It's got to be the Canary Islands. It's got to be the Canary Islands. And if he's not George Shirley, he's Alexander Booth. I think I had... This is the thing I had before, though. That would make him George Shirley. These guys all got out on a boat. Where was the boat headed? I mean, the boat was headed sort of north at this point, and the rowboat dropped on the port side of the ship, which would take them to... Depends where they would head. If they headed out that way, it could be just an Atlantic island. If they headed north, it could be the Azores. Headed south, it could be Cape Verde. There's some massive guesswork involved. I guess we'll try the others, because it's clearly not Canary Islands. Atlantic Islands. We'll go with that. And then swap him over. If he's not Alexander, he must be George. Not correct. So, fine, Cape Verde. Seems unlikely, but... Try it. I thought Africa was unlikely as well, so... No? The Azores. I think I've tried every reasonable combination I possibly can here. We've tried Africa, we've tried Atlantic Islands, we've tried Canary Islands, we've tried Azores, we've tried Cape Verde. Where else could they remotely have wound up? There's so little left to actually figure out here. And yeah, I really, really want to get it. Oh. I'm very open to suggestions. Help me. Europe. Did you wind up in Europe? Canary Islands is still like the most plausible place for them to be. It's gonna do my head in. Oh. Madeira's not even an option, despite the fact that they're actually probably closest to Madeira. No, I don't know. Well, I left it on Canary Islands, didn't I? They are actually nearer to the Azores, but I tried the Azores. Man alive. If you got out of a rowboat here, where would you wind up? Are there any, like, ocean currents marked on the map at all? Because I presume the lines are mostly just latitude and longitude, right? Or wrong? Not sure, actually. Because, I mean, when they got out in chapter 9, when they escaped in Escape, they wound up in Africa. So to get to Africa from here, you would follow that line? Is that a current line? Did that line a current? So if one were to get out in the Doom, you would wind up in the Canary Islands? Question mark? Is this right? Could be. Is that a thing? But I've got them all in on the Canary Islands, and it's not him. Are you Philip Dahl? That's ruined things, because now that's removed Philip Dahl from somewhere else.
Let them go!
I think I remember Philip Dahl. Philip Dahl was... This was supposed to be Philip Dahl. Oof, I have got to call this tonight. This is way too late. I have my apologies, but I really cannot just stay up all night long doing this and guessing things. I'm open to suggestions, and I will probably do like a micro wrapping up kind of less than an hour kind of stream tomorrow night just to really like conclude this, I think. Because I want to conclude it. I can't leave this hanging at like 95% complete. I can't. It'd be ridiculous. Because I made such good progress today as well. Like, if I go to... Can we get right to the back of the book? Look at this. I had less than half of them done at the start of things. And we're down to like the last 4. The last 4. Which is a weird place to be in itself, because you can only confirm 3 of them. That one remaining one is like, you have to turn the book in. Oh man. And I can't bear to turn it in just so close to completion without it being actually complete. Sucks. Alright, maybe there's some vague guides to point you in the right direction that I can find somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, that'll do me for today, so I'm going to head on out. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for watching. I hope Ulmo doesn't hate me too much. Be interesting to see if I ever see him again. But there we go. I didn't mean like to drive someone away, but I also don't like negativity in my channel. I hate it. So let that be a lesson. For now, I'm going to go. I'm going to sleep, and I'm going to go to work, and then return to finish this on the morrow. So I will see thee on the morrow. Good night.